So today we're going to talk about chapter 1.1. So this is the very first chapter of the book. Some things that we're going to be covering today are things like using exponents, rules for order of operations, which I'll kind of go over here in a second. This idea of using more than one grouping symbol, inequality symbols, translating word statements to symbols, and writing statements that change the direction of inequality symbols. So anyways, this is just kind of a refresher. This is the first chapter that we're going to cover, so hopefully some of this stuff is kind of up there, but it's just trying to help you guys kind of remember how this works. So the first thing we're talking about here is 5 squared. So whenever I think of that, I just think of that as 5 times 5, which is going to be 25. So I like to write it out. Again, this first couple sessions, I'll just kind of write things out, probably a little bit longer than what we need to. But anyways, and then this one right here is going to be 1/2 cubed. So I'm doing 1/2 times 1/2 times, 1/2. Now remember, when you multiply fractions, again, I'm going to try to get pointers throughout, but when you multiply fractions here, you're just going to multiply the tops. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So, remember, just a refresher, the top number in a fraction, that's called your numerator. The bottom number is called your denominator. Okay, so the way these videos are going to work is I'm going to ask you to pause the video now, and I'm going to ask you to try these out. So go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so remember, 9 squared is going to be 9 times 9, which in this case is going to be 81. And then here, 1/2 to the 4th power is going to look like that. So it's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. Again, we multiply the numerators together. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is just going to give us 1. And then the bottom, I think we're going to get 1/16. Okay, so that's just kind of an intro to exponents, what they are, what they mean, how they function, all that good stuff, okay? All right, next thing we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about order of operations. So some of you may remember that as PEMDAS. I think of it, I like to write it like this, and I'll explain here in a second. The reason why I write it like this, remember the P stands for parentheses, the E stands for exponents, which is why we just reviewed those. Multiplication and division, you do left to right. So I'll give you an example here in a second. And then addition, subtraction, you also do left to right. So the reason why I like writing it like this is because let's do the first one here, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So if I have 10 plus 3 times 4, if I go over to my PEMDAS over here, right? Look at my P, I don't have any parentheses, I don't have any exponents. So multiplication or division left to right, so I have a plus, and then I have a 3 times 4, so I'm going to do that first. So then I get 10 plus 3 times 4, which is 12. Yes, I like to write things out. I know it takes extra time. Can you do it in your head? Of course. But I will tell you, over the years, I've learned if you write it out, you're more likely to be successful with the problem rather than not. So here I have 10 plus 12, which I think is 22. So what do I mean by that, this left to right thing? So let's say, I'm going to just kind of do it over here. Let's say that I have 3 times 4 divided by 2. Wait, I'm going to switch that. Just kidding. Let's say that I have 4 divided by 2 times 3. So the struggle with writing thinking PEMDAS is that if you're going through, because a lot of people write PEMDAS like this, right, just as a straight line. So my struggle is if I'm going straight through those letters, right, my first thing here, do I have any parentheses? No. Do I have any exponents? No. Multiplication. So I must do this first, which gives me 4 divided by 2 times 3 is 6, which gives me this awkward answer of 2/3. Okay? But that's not the right answer. I know you see these on like Line all the time, Facebook has them all the time, like always on social media and stuff like that. In this case, you do multiplication, division, left to right, oh no, sorry, oh gosh, I did that. Oh yeah. So here you're gonna do multiplication, division, left to right. So what are you gonna do first? You're actually gonna do division first. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 3 is going to give me 6, which is my correct answer. Okay, so anyways, hopefully that makes sense. The big key here is that you have to realize when you do multiplication, division, you do it left to right. Okay, and that's kind of the key here. All right, the next one here, I'm going to go through, the first thing I'm going to see here is, do I have parentheses? Of course I do. And then the other thing here too, you have to realize what's going on between the 2 and your set of parentheses. Well, these are being multiplied together. So sometimes I even like to write these again, just because it is what it is. So here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do inside my parentheses. Now, I kind of restart the process once I get inside the parentheses. So once I'm inside the parentheses, I start again. Is there another set of parentheses? There isn't, but the first thing I see is this exponent. So again, I know it's annoying, but I'm going to rewrite it. 3 squared, is 9 plus 4. Again, start the process again. I still have to finish up my parentheses, so I'm going to do 2 times 9 plus 4, which is 13, and 2 times 13, I believe, is going to be 26. So that's my answer for that one. Again, start with your PEMDAS, multiplication, division, left to right. Same thing with addition and subtraction, left to right. Finish out your parentheses first, and then kind of complete the rotation, if that makes sense. Okay, go ahead and do me a favor. Pause the video. Take a couple seconds to do this. Once you do these on your own, go ahead and restart the video. Okay, so the first thing I think I'm going to do up here is I think I'm going to do the division first. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 10 minus 3, I believe, gives you 7. Again, here, the first thing I'm going to do is the parentheses first. Simplify that. Remember, this one is really written as 18 plus 2 times 3. So you're going to do that multiplication next, and then you're going to add those together to get you 24. So hopefully that makes sense, okay? All right, I want you to try these. They're definitely a lot harder. Remember, just take your time, PEMDAS, left to right. Make sure you do your parentheses first, and then kind of go from there. So go ahead and pause the video. When you're done with it, restart it, see how you did. Okay, so here, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do the parentheses first like they did. Simplify that. Again, remember, this is 7 times 6 minus 3 times 9. Okay? Multiplication, division, left to right. Okay? In this case, you can do them both in the same step, or you can rewrite it, whatever you want. So 7 times 6, I believe, is 42. 3 times 9 is 27. When you subtract those, you get 15. Okay? Oh, sorry, the last one. Exponents first, right? So all they did was they did this part first, and then they actually did this part together too. Totally fine. I would have taken the next step to do 2 plus 9 minus 5 times 2. Recognize that this is going to be your next thing. Now here, again, addition, subtraction, left to right. So you don't want to do 9 minus 10 first. You want to just do 2 plus 9 first, which will give you 11. 11 minus 10 is 1, and you're good to go. Okay, so the biggest thing with PEMDAS, again, as I write it, no, I'm not going to go back, but I write it as kind of like I said, where I write P, E, M, D next to each other, and A, S next to each other, because that's kind of where we're at, okay? All right, let's talk about some inequality symbols here. The biggest thing with these is kind of remembering which one is which, why is it which, how does it work together, how do they work together. So here, I've got a couple symbols. The first symbol I have is right here, which means does not equal. So these two numbers do not equal each other. So for example, right here, 7 does not equal 8. That's pretty much what we're dealing with there. The next one is going to be less than, greater than. I don't know if you remember, but the whole alligator thing that you learn where this thing's got teeth and that's got teeth and it likes to eat the bigger number. So a lot of students that I know struggle with determining which one is which one's less than, which one's greater than, how does it work, all that stuff. But you just got to remember that that is the less than symbol. So pointing to the left is less than, pointing to the right is greater than. This thing right here is very special in the sense that it means less than or equal to. So that means that 5 is 5 less than 9? Sure. Is 5 equal to 9? No. But it works with one of them, so it works. So the question is, if I have 9 is less than 9, and 9 is less than or equal to 9, is 9 less than 9? Technically, no. It's equal to, which is why this one would be correct because of that equal to sign underneath there. The way I think about it is I've got a symbol, I've got an extra line underneath it, so that's going to be an is equal to sign. It's just going to kind of, it's going to kind of be different. So let's talk about these ones, true or false. Go ahead and take a minute, pause the video, see what you think. Okay, so here is 12 greater than 6. I would agree yes. I think we would agree yes. The biggest key there is recognizing that you're not dealing with less than signs. This one, 28 is not equal to 28. I think that one's false, right? This one's tricky. 1/10. Is that less than or equal to 1/10? Is it less than? No. Is it equal to? Sure is, right? And then this last one is 1/3 less than 1/4. It's false. If you struggle with that one, here's a little trick that I learned a long time ago. I don't know why it works, but it does. You do 4 times 1, which is 4, and you do 3 times 1, which is 3. So you do this like cross-multiplying thing. And the question that you're asking now is 4 less than 3. The answer is false, so that doesn't work. So the neat thing is, let's say we have 2/5 is greater than, I don't know, 3/7. I don't know. Cross-multiply 14. Cross-multiply 15. Is 14 greater than 15? No, so that one would also be false. So that's just a little trick that I learned. I don't know, I use it all the time. But anyways, okay. Finally, this is the last thing we're going to do. Write each word statement in symbols. So we're going to start here. Like I said, this is lesson 1-1. We're going to kind of work our way up. So 9 is equal to 11 minus 2. And that's all we're doing there. Okay, so nothing super crazy. I want you to go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do 2 and 3 on your own. Okay, I'm getting 14 is greater than 12, and 2 is greater than or equal to 2, which are all correct statements. So hopefully that made sense. That was kind of the intro to the video. That was chapter 1-1. Hope you guys have a great day.